One quiet morning, a young girl left her village with nothing but a small bag of coins and a dream no one believed in. She didn't know where the journey would take her. She didn't know if she would succeed, but she knew one thing for sure. If she stayed where she was, she would spend the rest of her life wondering, what if I had tried? This is the story of a girl who followed a train and changed her destiny forever. Many years ago, in a quiet village surrounded by wide green fields, lived a young girl named Helena. Life in the village was simple and predictable. People woke up before sunrise, worked in the fields all day, and returned home when the sky turned orange at sunset. Helena spent most of her days helping her mother cook and clean. Sometimes she helped her father with small farm work. Life was peaceful. But deep inside, Helena felt something different, a quiet feeling she could never ignore. She believed that somewhere beyond the fields, life had something more waiting for her. Every evening, after finishing her chores, Helena would climb onto a wooden fence near the dusty road, and she would wait. Not for a person, but for something else. In the distance, a train would pass. The loud whistle, the shaking ground, the long line of moving windows carrying people to unknown places. To the villagers, it was just a train. But to Helena, it was a doorway to a bigger world. One evening, her younger brother noticed her staring at the train again. Curious, he asked, "Helena, why do you always watch that train?" Helena smiled softly. "Because it goes to places where people build new lives." Helena's parents loved her deeply, but they were also protective. Her father often warned her, "The world outside this village is not easy. It is full of problems and dangers." Helena listened respectfully, but her heart kept whispering the same dream. One evening, she finally spoke. "I don't want to stay afraid forever," she said quietly. "I want to see what I can become." Her mother understood her feelings, but she was worried. Late one night, when everyone else was asleep, her mother quietly called Helena into the kitchen. Without saying much, she handed her a small cloth bag. Inside were a few coins. "I saved these slowly over the years," her mother said softly. "If you ever choose to leave, take this with you." Helena held the bag carefully. It wasn't just money, it was trust. And trust is sometimes the most powerful gift someone can give. Weeks passed, but Helena couldn't stop thinking about the same question. What if I never try? One early morning, before the village woke up, Helena packed 2 simple dresses, a thin blanket, and the small bag of coins. She wrote a short note and left it on the table. It said, "Don't worry about me. I am not lost. I'm just following my dream." Then she quietly walked toward the train station. Her heart was beating fast, not because she was afraid, but because, for the first time in her life, she was moving toward her future. When Helena arrived in the city, everything felt overwhelming. Tall buildings stretched toward the sky. Crowded streets were full of strangers. No one knew her name, and no one was waiting for her. The coins she carried were barely enough to rent a tiny, cold room. Every morning, she walked through markets and shops asking the same question: "Do you need help?" Most people shook their heads. "Sorry, we don't need anyone." Some days, Helena ate only bread. Some days, she skipped meals completely. The city was much harder than she imagined. But giving up meant going back home without even trying. And Helena refused to let fear win. One afternoon, tired and hungry, Helena stopped at a fruit stall in the market. A woman was selling oranges. Helena gathered her courage and asked, "Can I help you?" The woman looked at her carefully. "What do you know about selling?" Helena answered honestly, "Nothing yet, but I am willing to learn." The woman paused for a moment, then she nodded. "All right," she said. "Start by arranging these oranges." It seemed like a small task, but for Helena, it was the beginning of everything. She learned how to greet customers, how to arrange fruit, how to count money carefully. Some days were slow, some days were busy, but Helena worked with patience, honesty, and a smile. And slowly, people began to notice her. Months passed. Helena arrived before sunrise and left after the market closed. Her dedication caught the attention of an older shop owner named Mr. Federico. One day he called her over. "I have been watching how you work," he said. "You are careful with money. You respect customers. You never complain." He decided to teach her something more. out to buy goods in larger quantities, how to manage profits, how to think like a business owner. Helena listened carefully and learned quickly. She saved every coin she could, and after a year of hard work, she rented a small wooden stall of her own. It wasn't fancy, but it was hers. She cleaned it, painted it, and placed a bright red cloth on the table. Helena began selling fruits, bread, and small sweets she prepared at night. Little by little, her stall became popular, and her confidence grew stronger every day. Years later, Helena received a letter from her younger brother. Their father had become sick. Their mother missed her, so Helena took the train back to the village. When she arrived, everything looked the same. Same fields, same house. But Helena had changed. She was stronger now, more confident. Her mother ran toward her with tears in her eyes. "Is it really you?" she whispered. Helena hugged her tightly. Her father slowly walked toward her. His voice was quiet. "I was afraid for you," he admitted. Helena smiled gently. "I understand," she said. "But you taught me how to work hard. That helped me survive." Before returning to the city, Helena made sure her family had food, medicine, and everything they needed. Then she took the train again. But this time, she wasn't chasing a dream. She was living it. Today, Helena runs a much larger shop in the market. She manages workers, greets customers, and counts profits every evening. But she never forgets where she started. Her story reminds us of something simple but powerful. Dreams need courage, success needs patience, and sometimes, all it takes to change your life is the courage to follow the train. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more powerful motivational stories. And remember, every dream begins with the courage to try.